Welcome to the Yuribruce podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the changes that are coming with immigrations, including changes to the actual U.S. citizenship test. And we're just going to open it up to questions. There's been a bunch of questions on the channel that I need to address, and I'm going to attack those. Let's get right into this. So right now I am on the USCIS.gov's page, and I went to the news section. If you go there, it breaks down everything you need to know about what's currently going on with USCIS. Namely, the naturalization civics test is changing. And let me just read this to you. They've been announcing this since July 2019. And the changes are going to include, they're going to increase the number of questions on the test. There used to be 10, and now it's going to go to 20. You have to get 60% of the questions right. And it's really not, the actual test itself is really not hard. And they give you all the questions that they're going to answer. There's about 100 questions that they'll give you. They say, okay, here's 100 questions, study these questions, and then they give you 20 of those 100 questions. But now they're going to change it to there's a body of 20 total questions for a foreign national to take in order to become a U.S. citizen. And there's about 120 questions. You just study those questions, and then they're going to give you about 20 of those, and you got to get 60% correct. So that's what this is all talking about. And they got some resources here. This is not hearsay. This is not me just making stuff up. This is actual facts. So that's changed. There's no fake news here. And here's what they're talking about. So here's another letter, a policy alert coming from talking about how it's going to change and everything, breaking down pretty much what I just told you. And yeah, so it's going from 100. See right here, it says it's going from 100 questions to about 128 total questions. So and it's really not hard, but the funny thing about this is that most Americans could not pass this test. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's kind of hypocritical in my personal opinion, which doesn't matter. But this is the kind of questions that you have on the test. And like I said, most Americans sadly, would not be able to pass this test. What is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. What does the Constitution do? Sets up government, defines government, protects the basic rights of Americans. So that's the kind of questions about a little bit about the history, the basic tenets of the government, what the government, how it's laid out, checks and balances, the three branches of government, all the just very basic civic questions. Who is the vice president? Who is the speaker of the house? Who is, like, most of these, the average American would not be able to, they would not know most of this stuff on here. But yeah, that's the changes. Another big change that's going to come with the new government coming in is going to be a gigantic reversal of a lot of the stuff the previous administration has done. And I don't think that those will affect most people who follow me about K-1 visa or some of the green card stuff that they did change that kind of went under the radar. People just don't know about. They'll be changing some of that. But the people who are really going to be affected by the changes are undocumented immigrants who are in the country, or illegal immigrants, whatever term you want to use. Just trying to get the information across without getting political. DACA, that's a deferred action for childhood arrivals. That's like kids of immigrants who came to the United States and they had a kid, and then those kids are still here and they've been here for like 13, 14, in some cases 20 years. So this is essentially their home. So that was the previous administration kind of waffled back and forth on what they were going to do with it. And they've been really trying to get rid of it, and then they try to keep it, and it's like they're all over the place with it. So that's probably gonna have some kind of a change. Some of the stuff happened where they're deporting people. That's probably gonna change. Hopefully they put in some kind of a comprehensive immigration process for the undocumented people who are in this country, because that's something we just don't have yet. Nobody's been able to do anything with it. So I'm hoping that they actually make a change on it. So this is going through some of the changes that are going to be reversed. And the reason why I say they're going to be reversed, like almost for sure, like there was a ban on certain countries in Africa, certain countries in the Middle East got banned. Probably that's going to get reversed. The reason why I think that those will be reversed is because those are executive orders, and a new president coming in can just change it with a stroke of a pen, and it's different. So yeah, you can expect some changes from that. Another thing that's going to change is the amount of immigrants. In the previous administration, what they did was they lowered the amount of actual immigrants for refugees coming in. I'm sure they're going to reverse that. Yeah, so those are some of the sweeping changes that are coming. But what I'm really hoping for is that they do something like in the actual law. That would be great. I'm not, getting my hopes too high, because many different presidents, many different administrations have tried to change it, and they have not been able to. All right, so that's about it for that. What I want to do now is now what you're about to see, if you happen to be watching this is the back end of my channel, and people say sometimes really crazy, offensive things. I'm going to read some of these, so I apologize in advance if you are offended easily. Don't be offended. If there's people who are trolls, normally they're trying to get a reaction out of you, so don't be offended by stuff that you see here. Retired and Happy and Medellin, how you doing? He says, what's up? Thank you for that donation, sir. Appreciate you so much. Okay, let me dive into some of these items here. Somebody said this girl's face totally does not look Spanish. It looks more like Pinoy or Polynesian. Talking about Yuri's DNA. Yeah, I agree with that. Yuri does look Polynesian. To me, she does. It looks like Moana or something. Let me see. JJ says, but when the money is gone and the spending ends, I don't know, man. You gotta. I don't know what that means. I'm not gonna go into that one. Let me see. Two Guns, how you doing? What's good? I'm just reading questions, so bear with me here. Let me see. Somebody said the original Filipinos were still melanated. So yeah, this is a pretty controversial topic. It's one of those things that people are really torn on, even though there's actual scientific data that's talking about the origins of the Filipino people. Not gonna go into it. I don't know enough about it, but when you read it, like it just gets really, really political, really racial, really quick. So, not worth my time going into it. Let me see. Trying to get a good one here. Some of the stuff people say is really cool, and I really appreciate it, and I'll make a whole video series about some of the stuff. So I really appreciate people commenting, especially the good comments that I get. Derek says, me and my wife and daughter might take the test to see what it says. Would be interesting. Talking about the actual 100-question civics test. Oh, you mean the DNA test? Okay, I'm confused, man. I apologize. Yeah, I've taken a DNA test, and we put it online here, and found out I was like 20% white, which shocked the hell out of me, because I really didn't know. And then my family, would always say, oh, we're part Indian, but you know how that whole argument goes. But Yuri found out she had Southeast Asian, which is like Afghanistan area, which is really weird. She knew she was mixed with something really different, because if you look at her sisters, they're all same mom and dad. But if you look at her sisters, especially Purple Shadow looks a little different. Like she looks mixed with something, but I don't know what that is. But apparently, according to Yuri's DNA test, it said that they're mixed with a little bit of Central Asian. And another thing that was interesting was that there was a lot of Polynesian in her as well. So that's a really good, if you get a chance to watch this DNA video, it's really good. People, there's all kinds of crazy comments with this one because people get really offended by us talking about this kind of stuff. But you know, I mean, it's just for fun that we did it. We don't, you know nothing about it. We just kind of just wanted to do it for fun and check it out and everything. So there's no, you know, it's just for fun. So we, you know, I'm not a scientist or anything. I'm not a genealogist. I have no idea where Filipinos originated from. We're just making speculation on there. So it's a good fun video to watch. And it's just, we're not the experts on it. We're just looking at the data that was sent to us. So you can be offended by it, but you're offended by someone else's data. At the actual report. Don't be mad at us. Let me see. Trying to come up, see some more interesting topics here. Somebody's promoting their stuff. And this is a question in Tagalog. Renew. How do you free to renew your? Is it free to renew your EAD card? So this is a video that Yuri did about renewal of an EAD card for her friend. She went and visited her friend, and her friend had to actually renew the EAD card. And I believe that I don't believe she had to pay for that, but I could be mistaken. Please watch the video. I think the video explains whether or not she had to pay for it. Let me see here. K. Henry is talking about relationship dealing with in-laws, and he says it is worse if Filipino family lives by. This was us talking about how we give money to our Filipino family and what we felt about it and stuff like that, and dealing with in-laws and things, the emotional trauma of dealing with our families. It says, I married a Filipino woman and we both had 2 kids, each from different from previous relationships. Her Filipino family nearly caused us to a divorce. The only thing that saved us was from me cutting them off completely. My kids and I do not go around them anymore. It's hard enough to make a blended family work without having other people outside of our home causing more strife and division within our home. Yeah, it can be really, we have our own issues that, stuff that I don't really talk about on this channel, personal stuff that sometimes I'll talk about on our Patreon. If you want to go ahead and check out that one, we talk about more personal stuff on there from time to time, and have deleted scenes and behind the scenes and stuff like that we don't put on YouTube, or just not really for the YouTube ecosystem. But on that one, we have personally had issues with what you're talking about, and what we've had to do is just kind of cut certain people off, because they're just toxic, mainly from my side. There's some stuff from both of our sides of our family. On some parts of my family, there's just some toxic stuff. We had to just cut it out, and that was the only way to deal with it. And then on Yuri's side, same thing. There's some certain people in her family that are just so toxic, and so they're just very have just done certain things that were very bad for both of us, for our relationship, and just all around not good. Not a good scenario to be around. So we just like you did, we had to cut it out. So I mean, sometimes that's the only thing you can do. You try to be nice, you try to be good, but what can you do if people don't want to work with you? Don't want to. Some people just don't have your best interest at heart, and sometimes it's best to just move on. Two Guns says it be like that, man. People don't want to see you shine, no doubt, man. I don't know what it is. Some people I think sometimes people see you happy and they can't take it because they're not happy. They're upset with their life. Their life is jacked up, and then they're looking at you like, why do you get to have a good life? And they can't live with you having something good, so they either want to take it from you or they want to see you come down a notch so they can feel better about themselves. That's honestly in both situations that I can't really go into and discuss on YouTube. Both those situations, that's exactly what happened. Like on both sides, on my side and on her side, where people are starting to see us rise up. And even a little stuff, like they don't even know like how good things really are, because I'm starting only just now to talk about how some of the really good stuff, but just seeing us happy was enough to trigger these people to make them try to do things to bring us down, and it's just wow. I mean, they'll try to justify it in their own way, but Two Guns says they be jealous of progression, so they try to hold you back with them. You know what? In the both situations that I'm talking about on both sides, that's exactly what it was. They can't take that shine. Like they see you shine, and they're like, that's BS. I got to do something to bring you down a notch. And sometimes people their life is so messed up and they're so toxic that you just gotta move on. You gotta let them crash, let them hit rock bottom, and you just gotta keep pressing on. Cause I really personally don't have time for that kind of stuff. I just, as I've gotten older, it's just like, man, it's better to just let people hit rock bottom and then you just keep moving on. Okay, Henry Hall says, any man that can deal with American women's BS can handle anything. No comment. Soldier says, people must have forgotten original Filipinos were melanated. There were people there that were dark, very dark skinned people there before anybody else arrived. That's all I'm saying. Facts, science. But don't believe what I be saying. Nancy Hagen says, new subscriber here. Happen to see your YouTube. Okay. Welcome aboard. Okay, my partner does not have my best interest. Oh, I remember this video. This is a video of Get Lost Vlogs was on this one. He says, and he contacted me and said his lady wasn't hustling, and she didn't, because I was telling him, I was a video about how Yuri and I have hustled in these years and just make all these streams of income. Like we did it together. She has like side things, I have some stuff, and we have stuff together, and we're just gaming this system, and he was saying that, man, what do I do about my girl? She doesn't have hustle. But now he's saying, oh man, I wish you would have given me a heads up if you were gonna use this. Here's an update. She has her own business right now, and business is booming. Oh man, that's great. Little motivation here and there goes a long way, man. That's great news. Great news. Love to hear that. Okay, let me see. Elite Class Trucking LLC says married women don't need to hustle. They can divorce their husband and take his ish. No comment. MayTV11 says, if her grandmother is half Spanish, that would make her 1/8 or 12th Spanish. She's not Spanish at all, we found out in the DNA. Spanish probably will not show up on her appearance because since it's such a small percentage. No, according to her, she didn't have any, but her family was saying, oh, we're part Spanish. Some Filipinos will, according to my wife, like she's saying, like some Filipino, well, at least in her family, they were like very proud and saying, oh, we're part Spanish and this and that. And turns out with the DNA test, there's 0% Spanish. There's 0% Spanish. They're as much Spanish as I am part Indian. 0. Goose egg. Let me see. Two Gun says, heard they're locking down parts of Philippines back down. Yeah. Derek says, I'm doing mine and we're switching the name so it would be interesting if my DNA and my wife's information. Yeah. Good way to tell if it's fake. I guess some people believe it's fake. I don't know why they would fake the data, because you can easily just double check it with another agency. Like, why would Ancestry.com ruin their business by faking data? Because, and the reason why I say that is because you could just, if you, let's say, 100 people, which they have thousands and thousands of people, but if 100 people, just take a block, 100 people were curious about their DNA, and they're like, well, this isn't quite right, and then they go to 23andMe or another competitor, and then that data completely conflicts with this data that they made up, the Ancestry.com made up, and you got hundreds of people saying, hey, this data is wrong. It would be immediately debunked, and people would just start throwing out that data. So I just don't think it's fake, and I just don't. And another thing is, here's another thing. Here's why I know DNA tests aren't fake. When I put mine out there, right? First off, I don't use my real name online unless I absolutely have to. So I used an alias. So I did exactly what you're talking about, Derek. I used an alias, and so did Yuri. And then it immediately matched me up with my mom's DNA, who already had one, right? It said, hey, you might be related to this person. It was my mom. And then it also said, hey, you might be related to these other two people. They were both my sisters, my half-sisters. And then it started linking me to all these other people who I don't even know who the hell they are. Never met them. No, they're all over the United States. I don't know who the hell they are, So it's not fake. It's absolutely not fake. So, yeah. It's real. DNA test is real. Okay, let me see. More DNA stuff. Somebody said, your face is very common in the Philippines. Oh my God, for sure, man. I remember when I first went to the Philippines and me and Yuri were walking around, and I'll be walking, and then I would see like women looking like Yuri. Like, I'm like looking at Yuri, so yeah, her face is pretty common. And her face is actually common in Thailand too. Like, it's weird. Like, when we were walking around Thailand, a lot of Thai people like swore up and down she was Thai. They start talking to her in Thai, and multiple Thai people came up and said, oh my God, start laughing after they realized. They start talking to her, and she's like, oh, and I'm sorry, I'm from the Philippines. And then they start laughing and saying, oh man, you have a Thai face. That's what they kept saying. Like, you look so laughing, like you look so Thai. So yeah, she looks Thai, but she's very Polynesian, apparently, according to the DNA test. Lots of Polynesian. I can't remember what percentage of it is there. Okay, let me see. Derek said no. Two Guns said, heard they are locking down parts of the Philippines back down. Well, I can show you this. U.S. Embassy in the Philippines. They're talking about COVID-19. This is updated as of 11/2010, or sorry, 11/10/2020. My bad. I apologize. I must be tired or something. And they said that I love this little Q&A part. First off, they're talking about quarantine, general community quarantine, GCQ, and that's happening in National Capital Region in Metro Manila, Visayas, and I believe that includes Cebu. Oh, Visayas, cities of Bacolod, Tacloban, and parts of Mindanao. So yeah, this breaks it all down. So what I did was this is ph.embassy.gov. So check this out, and it has I love these questions right here. It says entry and exit requirements. Are U.S. citizens permitted to enter? No. Unless they have a Philippine visa. Wow. Interesting. You have to have a Philippine visa to get in the country. Whoa. That's a new one for me. Contact the nearest Philippine consulate prior to attempting to travel to the Philippines. Have to have a visa. First time ever. Crazy. U.S. citizens, residents of, and visitors to the Philippines must contact the Philippine Bureau of Immigrations (BI) for information about visa extensions. U.S. citizens can review a complete set of instructions and requirements required for every BI transaction on its website. Okay, and then somebody said, is a negative COVID-19 test required for entry? No. Okay. Upon entry, passengers are required to undergo a COVID-19 PCR test at the airport. Okay, this is what Philippine Airlines was saying as well. So it says, are health screening procedures in place at the airport and other ports? Yes. Ports of entry, yes. Upon arrival, okay, here's another one. More information here. Upon arrival, local authorities will brief passengers who will also undergo a temperature check upon deplaning and will proceed to the designated waiting area for a protocols swabbing test. Movement restrictions. Is a curfew in place? Yes. And then the timing for each curfew is set by the local government unit, and it varies by region. Are there restrictions in inner cities? Travel? Yes. Wow. Checkpoints are in place, and domestic travel remains limited. Local government units by request information. Local government units may they mistyped it on a government site. What the? U.S. government site. Anyway, local government units may request information about your proposed purpose of travel. Purpose of travel. In general, leisure travel is not permitted at any time. Whoa. At this time. Not permitted. Okay. Are U.S. citizens required to quarantine? Yes. Oh my God. That is insane. Quarantine is required for 14 days in a government-controlled hotel facility. Individuals granting permissions to enter the Philippine authorities must have a confirmed booking for at least 2 days at a hotel accredited by the Philippine Tourism and Health Agencies. While waiting for their COVID-19 test, U.S. citizens must stay at the booked hotel until they receive a Philippine Bureau of Quarantine medical certificate. Dang. COVID-19 testing. U.S. citizens may obtain a COVID-19 test at local medical facilities. In general, payment is in cash. I'm reading this part right here. Is in cash only by the U.S. citizen prior to testing. Costs may vary according to the test given at the local facility. There are a lot of misspellings in here. They need to double check that. Okay. Transportation options. Okay. I'm trying to look for more important stuff here. There's fines with compliant for non-compliance, consular visas. Anyway, yeah, that's crazy, right? Crazy. Not a good time to go to the Philippines. Not a good time. There's curfews. You can get stuck in a hotel for 14 days. I don't even know if the certificate that they give you will allow you to leave early. You got to have a visa to even enter. Are U.S. citizens permitted to enter? No, unless they have a visa, Philippine visa. And I don't know how true this is, but this is coming from the U.S. Embassy.gov's Philippine website, so some validity there. All right, back to my questions here. Big Man says, I need Jollibees. Okay, let me see here. I was just reading questions here, just going through, checking out what people are saying. Why am I uploading this guy? Okay, boom, boom. I want a black Filipina. Roland Richards says, very interesting. I'm very interested in retiring early and I want to know what you're doing. Maybe we can help. Maybe you can help my family. I want to know what it is. Okay. Let me make sure I understand this. I'm very interested in retiring early, and I want to know what it is that you're doing. Maybe you can help my family. Okay, I'm sorry. I totally misread that. All right, so what I'm doing, Roland, is Ronald Richards. What I'm personally doing is I'm trying to make enough money to retire in the U.S. or anywhere, Europe, South Africa, Kenya, Philippines, wherever I want. Right now, me and my wife, we could actually retire in the Philippines right now. Like I could quit my job. I could quit my high-paying job and move to the Philippines, and we could live off of my current business, our current business. And let me tell you, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling to be able to retire in your damn 40s. It's crazy. But how did I do it? And what's my plans? Plan is to be able to make enough money to live in America. Like right now, we're not quite. We could, with our current income, we could live in America, but we have a certain standard of living. You know what I mean? We don't want to be struggling. We want to be very comfortable, and live like we currently live, with just passive and active income that we make from our businesses, from all our side hustles, from all our passive income, all the stuff we've been doing. To do that in America, we got to double what we're doing. We got to do 2 times what we're doing, and we're probably 5 years away from that, or less. But we kind of put a buffer on how much, how long it's going to take, right? Because you never know, just stuff happens, right? But as things have been going, things have been going really, really good for us, and if we play our cards right, if we keep hustling, if we keep grinding, we could probably get there within a year and a half, maybe 2 years or less. So what do we do? It would be the question I would ask if I was you. Like, what are we doing? How do we do this? How are we pulling down anywhere from 3 to 4K per month on just business stuff? Well, we do several different things. And it took a long time for us to get here. And that's not to say that you should do what we're doing, because our hustle's not for everyone. You know what I mean? Like one of the things we found is that you have to find your own hustle. And it took us a lot of trial and error over the years to figure that out. We tried stock options, we tried day trading, we tried some multi-level marketing. Don't recommend it. We tried Bitcoin. That went pretty good. We tried, stocks, which we're still doing. We tried all kinds of stuff. So the things that we landed on was real estate and doing courses online. YouTube makes some money, but YouTube itself is really a marketing tool. What really makes the money is like the courses. So that right there, that we do on another channel, is not even on this channel, by the way, makes us enough to live on. And that including the real estate and all other stuff we're doing. We have real estate in the Philippines. We got real estate here. And we're just slowly, real estate is something you kind of slowly build, because we got rental properties. And that's something you got to just take your time, and you got to have the income, and you got to have a, safety net. You can't use money that you can't afford to lose, all that kind of investment stuff. And this is not for everyone. Like, you have to try different things. So try different things. You need to have enough expendable income to make mistakes. That's another big thing. One of the big mistakes we made early on was to use money to gamble, kind of like use money. What I mean by gamble was like it was a managed risk. It wasn't really rolling the dice, but the gambling portion of it was we were using money we didn't really have. Like we were using money that we shouldn't. Pulling money out of your credit card, pulling money out of your 401k, that's just dumb. Don't do it, because you're taking something that's safe and then putting it into something that's volatile. And then if it doesn't work, this other thing that doesn't work, this risky thing you're trying doesn't work, guess what? You got to pay back what you are. You just lost something that you were building for 3-4 years. So I don't recommend that. Use your expendable income. Like, budget till you have extra money. Use the extra money to go ahead and manage risk on certain businesses. Try different things and land on something that works for you. So right now, just to recap, like, our goal is to keep grinding until we make about double what we have now, and then that will be enough to for me to retire in the U.S. because we like the U.S. We're not trying to leave the U.S. We're trying to buy properties here. We're trying to enjoy the fruits of the stock market, enjoy the fruits of the growth that's happening in the U.S. because there is growth happening in different industries in the U.S. It's a money thing. Like, we're just trying to grind to make that money so that we can do whatever we want. And those options have allowed us to help out our families, both sides of our extended families. It's allowed us to be there for people when they're in need. It's allowed us to live a life, a very comfortable life. So we're going to keep grinding until we can do that without my current. And actually, my current job, I probably wouldn't even leave. And after I make double what we're making in our businesses, I probably will stay with my job because I actually like my job. I'm actually enjoying it. I'm growing. I'm learning new things. I believe in what the company's doing. It's fun. I'm actually having a good time. It's stressful at times, but that stress drives me to be better. So, our business will have to do 10 times what I'm making now for me to be like, I need to focus more of my energy on this business. But yeah, so that's my plan. I hope that answers your question. And I'm really excited about what we're doing. I'm really excited to keep trying different things and go deeper into real estate, and really exciting time for us, Retire Happy in Medellin says, in the States, real talk, if you want to live in a major city as a single adult, in my opinion, you need a minimum retirement of $75,000 per year, and that is on a low end of a comfortable in the USA. I would not disagree with that. Probably, if you had less debt, you could probably get away with less than that, quite a bit less than that. Like, if you had a very low mortgage payment, and it depends on what city you're in too, of course, because there's a big difference between if you live in San Diego, which is very high cost of living, New York, very high cost of living, San Francisco, very high cost of living, as opposed to living in like a Kentucky or Mississippi, or one of these states that you have a much lower cost of living. It really depends on where you're living, what your expenses are, because if you have a very low mortgage or no mortgage, you could probably live on you could probably, like, in Kentucky or somewhere like Mississippi, like that, you could probably, and you go in there, you buy a bunch of land, you put a bunch of money down on a house, you pay it way down, you have you could probably get away with like living on 30,000-40,000. You have less debt probably. But if you want to live in like San Diego or LA or a city, like you just said, like if you want to live in a major city, yeah, you're looking at 75 might not even be enough for you, to be honest with you, not to live how I want to live, because I'm not trying to live check to check. So I'm trying to do have some fun sometimes. So I can't disagree with you, sir. Yeah, but one of the things that it is an option, kind of a backup plan, to live in another country, because there's a couple countries we wouldn't mind living in. Thailand is one of them. But I'm not gonna leave a country because of the unrest or whatever. Like, it has to be pretty extreme unrest. Like, it has to be pretty extreme. It's not going to be an emotional thing. Like, oh, this president got elected, I'm leaving. No, it's not. That's not a rational decision. It's just not. Because every country has problems. If you pay attention, I remember we were in Thailand, we were there, we had a great time, and there was a military coup while we were on our way out. And we were in flight when the military coup completely took over the government, and they locked the airport down so nobody could leave. We were already en route in the air back to the U.S. or where were we going? Philippines? I can't remember where we were going at the time. But yeah, every country has problems. Like, Philippines has problems. Like, you can't escape. Every country has problems. So to try to get emotional and say, "Oh, I'm leaving," I mean, I think I could see if you had, and I'm not judging anybody for leaving for whatever reason they want to leave. But for me personally, I'm not going to leave on emotional reasons. I got too many people depending on me to make an emotional decision. And for me personally, the U.S. is more stable, so I just want to make enough here where I can live here comfortably and then retire if I want to. So that's my plan. Let me see. Big Rob says trading makes... So Big Rob, if you guys didn't know, we got Big Rob, we got Retired Happy in Medellin. We got a couple of other YouTubers who are on here right now. You should go follow them, check them out. But Big Rob says, trading takes a while to find a strategy. I'm actually doing Forex now and now stepped into real estate by helping people find unclaimed funds. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Like, you got to keep trying stuff. And I appreciate you, Big Rob, and Retire Happy and Medellin. I really, really appreciate people who are go-getters. I really appreciate people who are action takers, who are not just all talk. And you know what I'm talking about. Those people who just talk about what they're going to do when they're a millionaire and what they're going to do this and do that. And they haven't taken any action to do that. They haven't taken any blows. They haven't failed. They haven't failed forward. They haven't done anything, but they're talking about how they're going to be a millionaire. I freaking hate that. So I like people who are action takers. Even if you do something and it didn't work out, that I appreciate that, because that's what it takes to be successful. Failing forward. Keep on doing stuff until something works for you. That's all Yuri and I did. Okay, let me see. This is what conversation is this? These guys are talking back and forth. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone and keep going here. Let me see here. So this is the same question. Let me see. So Ross James says, "Hello, Bruce. Would I be able to contact you to receive your advice with something regarding immigration process?" To be honest with you, Yuri and I are not subject matter experts on this. All we can do is tell you about our experience. We're subject matter experts on our personal experience. We've been able to break it down to people and say, hey, here's what we did. If you want to kind of see this as a precedence for what you can do, that's cool. But I'm not trying to get anybody through this process. I don't feel like I'm qualified to do that. But I can tell you what we did, and we do have a lot of experience in our personal. And we have helped a lot of people. Like people have kind of followed the path we did. Because we've documented everything, we posted it. We made a course about it and everything that you can check out if you're going through the visa process. Go ahead and check it out. It's really thorough. It documents everything we did, because we didn't just throw our documents away. We organized it and we made all these videos about it from start to finish. So we're subject matter expert on our experience, and we can share that with you. So what I can do is I can just give them my email real quick, and feel free to contact us. If I can help, I will. But I'm not gonna BS you and say, oh, I'm some kind of an expert on it, because I'm not. We just know what we did, and we collected all our documents. We went through our entire process, and we documented it from start to finish when we were going through the process. So that's very valuable. So if you're interested in that, you can contact us here. I just put my email there, so you can contact us. And then you can also go to Yuribruce.com, where we got lots of documents that you can download. Like, it looks into our process. We documented the green card process, what we did for Yuri's, all that stuff. You can also check out our website, our channel, and everything. It's all there. Let me see. Somebody said, "Hey, Wilborn, how you doing?" Somebody said, oh, Derek says, "I want to move to the Philippines, but my concern is health insurance there." The insurance, if I'm not mistaken, Derek, and please, if anybody's watching this and could correct me, I appreciate it. It's really not that expensive there. The health care is so much cheaper than it is here, that you can almost pay out of pocket for some of the treatments. To give you an example, like Yuri had she has 16 cavities. Like, how you get 16 cavities, I don't know, but she had 16 freaking cavities, and here it was gonna cost. Oh, and she has in her gums. She has something wrong with her gums, gingivitis or something in her gums is messed up, and they were gonna charge us. Oh man, it was like $4,000, which at the time was a lot of money for us. Like, a lot of money. We were like, what? For some cavities and cleaning the inside of the gums and stuff. So she flew to the Philippines, and it cost $400. $400 for cleaning the gums and to fix all the cavities. So $4,000 US. $400 Philippines. So for the price of a ticket to fly there and to get your teeth done and have a vacation, that's the price of getting your teeth fixed in America. But there's nothing wrong with our medical. There's nothing wrong with our dental issues. There's nothing. Everything's fine and perfect. But we have to fly to another country to get our teeth fixed. You know what I mean? It's so ridiculous here in the U.S. That's one thing that's completely broken with the U.S. Completely broken. And for some reason, people don't want to fix it here. So yeah, you could probably, without insurance, be all right. But I think there's a way you can also get insurance. But don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. Because I think Filipinos, they pay. There's a way you can pay into their system, and it's not a lot of money. Like, it's compared to here, it's pennies on the dollar. Well, compared to what we pay here for the same kind of service. By the way. That's because their government takes care of them for the stuff like that. Ours doesn't. Let me see. Because it's socialism. Timothy says, maybe I'm simple, but I love the short vlogs. Keep coming, bro. Okay. That's nice to know. Thank you, Timothy. I know, like, when I'm posting stuff, sometimes I don't know, like, what people want. That's why some of the content's kind of all over the place. So, and this YouTube channel has been kind of like a lab for us. I just put stuff out. Some stuff works. Some stuff catches on fire and blows up, explodes in our face. You just gotta try different things. Some things people love it so much and it helps them out and it changes their life. And some people see our videos and they want to kill us, like, literally. But yeah, I'm just trying things. For me, it's a lab. Let me see. Excellent video. Thanks. I didn't feel racism the 3 times I was there. I loved it and the people. Me too. I really love the people. I think he's talking about the video that Yuri talked about, some of the colorism that's in the Philippines. And it does exist. Yuri's not the only person who told me about it. There's some other Filipinas who I was very close to that were very frank with me. I really enjoy people who are very honest with themselves and everything. And more than one person, usually darker Filipinos, they would tell me, hey, like, you gotta watch it. They're saying this, they're saying that. And then they say stuff to me because I'm dark. you know, and Yuri experienced a little. Yuri's not even dark, you know, like the other Filipinas, which I personally, I think that's pretty hot. Like darker skin Filipinos look real attractive to me. You look at Cassie, who was not married, but with Puffy, P. Diddy Combs, some of the other famous Filipinas here who have a darker complexion. They look, in their models and their actresses and stuff, to me it looks amazing. It's a beautiful part of the Filipino tapestry, you know what I mean? Like they come in different shapes and in colors and shades, and I think it's beautiful to be dark skinned in the Philippines. But apparently some darker skinned Filipinos get a little bit of, have some issues there. I didn't experience any racism while I was there at all, and it was the reverse. People were very loving, very kind, very nice. Yuri would tell, if somebody said something crazy, Yuri would tell me, and usually it was good, you know. So I didn't have any problems. I love the Philippines racially. Like it was way better than my experiences have been in the U.S., to be honest with you. Two Guns. Hey, Two Guns, are you still here? Here's your comment. I'm just gonna upload this. Gonna like this. Thumbs up. Thanks for watching, bro. Let me see, and hopefully I can get Yuri on another video in the future. Flora says, I really enjoyed the discussion. Thank you. That's what it is. It's a discussion. Appreciate you. Landman X says, income gap is worse almost everywhere else. I wouldn't want to go. Yeah, it's true. The income gap is bad everywhere. He's responding to something where I was talking about why people should leave the U.S. and I was talking about how some people leave the U.S. because of this, because Trump is president, or because Biden, whatever. Excuse me. And me, I'm not. You know, you can't move based off of emotions. You know, if it's just emotional, and I understand, like, some people don't, especially us black folks, don't feel safe here. You know, and then they move to Southeast Asia and they feel safe. You can go anywhere. You're not worried, not like constantly looking over your shoulder. That is so true. That is so true. I cannot argue with that. And it really depends on what city you're in, all that kind of stuff. But I was saying in this video that one of the reasons I might leave is because the income gap in the U.S. is just getting crazy. Like, the cost of living is getting insane here. So I was saying that I would possibly might leave is because of that. That might make me leave because the cost of living is going up, but people's pay is going down, down, down. But my pay, because of business, is actually doing pretty good. It's keeping up. It's going above and beyond. You know, it's survivable. So that's really cool. But one of the things that might do it for me is that, and the reason why I said that is because if my money doesn't go far enough here in the U.S., I can just go to another country where it does go far enough. I can move to the Philippines and my money goes way farther. I can go to Thailand and my money goes. But as it stands, I'm doing really good. I don't have to worry about that. I personally don't have to worry about that. You know. Let me see. And this will be the last one I'll read here. I'm about an hour in. Two Guns says, yeah, I'm still here, bro. I was just reading your comment, man. Let me see. The Family Man says, okay, which one is he talking about? Why people should leave the U.S. Okay, same one. He says, I agree with you 100%. I'm currently dating a Filipina for over a year. Bought tickets this past February, but had to cancel due to COVID. May not see her until 2021. Not sure. Love your channel. I'm inspired to start my own and vlog my journey with my Filipina. Yeah, you should do it, man. If you're watching this, if you ever see this, Family Man, you should do it. It is worth it. Yeah, should definitely start a YouTube channel and just start making content. It really makes a lot of sense, especially if you don't mind being on camera, if you don't mind sharing your views, if you're not easily offended by things. It's a really good way to go. Derek says green card is being made and on the way. Man, congratulations, Derek, and congratulations to who else went to the next level. Mr. Worldwide, his girl, and who's Filipina, they got approved. They're in the K1 visa process, and they got approved now. I think his girl has to go do the interview. She's still in the Philippines. She has to do the interview. But like the hard part is the initial submission of documentation and the waiting that you have to do. Once you get that interview, like, it goes way faster. Once you get the interview, it goes pretty fast. So he's looking at probably 2-3 more months, and his girl's gonna be with him. And then Derek, now he's already working on the green card process. And somebody else said same thing, that they're already in the next stage of their process. So that's really great. I'm really happy for all you guys. Keep grinding. You can do it. Check out our other site, Visa Approved. Just go on YouTube and then type in Visa Approved. You'll see Yuri and I, we do videos there, and then some of the stuff that we have here, we push it over there to that other channel because it's just more relevant, and it stays more focused on that particular topic of U.S. citizenship, green card issues, adjustment of status, and then all kinds of visas that we're going to be putting more stuff on there as time goes. So go ahead and check that out. And then we also have another channel called Get Money Get Out, where we just talk about all money stuff. Some of this money stuff that I talk about here, this audience really isn't made for that. Like, there's definitely some entrepreneurs and some really smart people like Get Lost Vlogs and Retired and Happy in Medellin, and some other people who follow me who are business people. That channel's really for them. You know, business-minded people who are trying to get that money, who are trying to expand their income streams. Go check out Get Money or Get Out. That name was made up by somebody who we follow, HT Logistics. He made up that name, by the way, who also is a brilliant business dude. So, let's grow together, guys. That's what I want to do. I want to grow together. And I'm going to share with you guys some of the ways that Yuri and I have been able to make money. You know, and the reason why I do it is because, you know, the world really has enough problems. You know what I mean? Like, all of us have enough issues dealing with our family, enough issues dealing with calamities, enough issues dealing with politics or whatever, right? And you got all these things. It's just good to share with people things that they can do for themselves to help out and have a better life for themselves by having more money coming in, and then be able to help the rest of your family. Like, that's why we share this information. We were successful in getting Yuri the citizenship here in the U.S. She has a passport. We can travel wherever we want once COVID-19 is gone. And we will be traveling a lot. But we can do that. Like, we have a successful relationship. We shared all that stuff and how we were able to do it and all that kind of stuff. And now we're in this other part of our life where we have all this extra money. And we're like, how do we do it? How can we share it with you guys? How can we share with people who are interested in it? And everybody's not action takers, you know, and I realize that. Not everybody is made for being an entrepreneur. Not everybody is made to do that extra hustle. This life isn't for everyone. But I just want to impress on the people who this is for, that you or maybe you just want to grind to help out your family. This is for you. Like, this information that we're putting out on Get Money Get Out, this kind of information is specifically for you, to help you out. It's tons of free stuff, and eventually we want to put like really robust type of information out there, so keep watching. And let me see. I think that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate everybody who's continued to watch us over the years. And I will be putting out lots more content in the future. But check it out on Visa Approved. Check it out on Get Money or Get Out. And then check it out on our channel, Yuribruce.com.